will William Samoei Ruto unite the country and use his influence, which is overwhelming, to develop this country, Kenya?
Nasikia wengine wanasema ati Ruto amechengwa kwa hiyo mambo ya IEBC. Mimi nataka niwaambie hivi, hata wakitaka waweke Oburu Odinga awe chairman wa IEBC, mimi sina shida, mimi sina problem.
I think you realize by now that William Samoei Ruto had his presidency figured out from day one. Well, before I even talk about that, I see a lot of people trying to get the attention of William Samoei Ruto. It started with Justin Wamai, the running mate for Wajakoya, by asking for jobs and what have you. I've seen Miguna talking and giving William Samoei Ruto advice. You would imagine Miguna is Moses Kuria, or maybe Rigathi Gachagua, or maybe the people who actually supported William Samoei Ruto from scratch, like Alice Wahome. They are not talking, yet those people in the periphery are like talking much more than even the owners of Kenya Kwanza. Let's give William Samoei Ruto a break so that he can do things his way. And we see the difference between business as usual and somebody else is thinking. I'm excited about that. Let's give William Samoei Ruto a chance to do things. However, today, basically what I wanted to talk about is talking about William Samoei Ruto. He had all this figured out early enough. William Samoei Ruto had Chebukati exactly where I wanted. As a matter of fact, I dare say William Samoei Ruto even said, why am I saying, and the clip is there, mimi si mlevi, mimi si bahatishi. Listen to the clip.
My friends, hebu munisikize. Sawa sawa. Mimi si wazimu, na mimi si mjinga, na mimi si mlevi. I know what I am saying.
William Samoei Ruto had Chebukati somewhere he wanted. Of course, I've always known that Kenya Kwanza have a way with the High Court. I can't prove it. But they have a way with the High Court in such a manner that the High Court more or less listens to their petitions. You remember BBI? You know what happened, right? Even after it was passed by the majority of the county, or rather the counties, BBI was still kicked out by the High Court. I can't say the same thing, though, about the Supreme Court, although I have my suspicions. The one thing that I can say for sure is that Chebukati was right in the pocket of William Samoei Ruto, one way or another. William Samoei Ruto too is actually surrounded by very smart people, if you look. In fact, look at even the people who represented him in court, smart lawyers, and he pays them well. You know, that is something, right? You know, if you compare that to Raila Amolo Odinga, can you see the difference? Well, I'm hearing also other people now, like Atuoli, actually mentioning that William Samoei Ruto had all these kind of thing figured out. And he's right. He had it figured out. William Samoei Ruto too is very influential. You know, for you to be able to put people like Rigathi Gachagua together with Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula and Dr. Mutua and Professor Kibutha Kibwana in one bag, along with Alice Wahome, along with other people that you know of would not even cook if put in one bag. It tells you something about William Samoei Ruto. He had it all figured out. Like the Americans say, there must be, for you to get that far, there must be something tied to the ball. William Samoei Ruto too is the one who actually had deep state. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had basically his loyalists like Dr. Matiang'i, like Wamalo Kijana, like, probably the loyalists, But William Samoei Ruto had the deep state with him. And he dared say, in fact, if you want to learn something about William Samoei Ruto, you should know that what he says, he really means what he says, even if he's saying it at a rally in a manner that you will not like. So William Samoei Ruto too is somebody who basically has connections, locally, political connections. He's made them. and abroad. If you remember, there was a person called Biwott in Moi's government. He was the guy running the show. Deep inside Moi's government, and you couldn't know that actually what is happening, the decisions were finally being made by Biwott. I see a similar thing in Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's government, the Jubilee government. William Samoei Ruto apparently used to be the consumer of intelligence reports, and he used to tell us, Mimi ni number 2. I think you've seen it, or I will play it for you if you haven't seen it. Let me just show you.
Hawa wadosi na mimi nasimama hapa kama deputy president na siwezi kurudi nyuma.
So William Samoei Ruto consumed intelligence and used it very well. William Samoei Ruto too has local and international connections. And as soon as he was declared president-elect, you remember, Israel was among the first countries to congratulate William Samoei Ruto. William Samoei Ruto had the church, especially evangelicals, right in his pocket. I've seen today politicians talking to William Samoei Ruto indirectly and saying that there could be the issue of secession if William Samoei Ruto does not handle the entire country together, which by the way is a major concern. I personally believe that William Samoei Ruto will not allow Nyanza to develop. That I believe. However, he is the president and people have voted him by a majority, William Samoei Ruto. So my question today is, will William Samoei Ruto, with the majority in Senate, majority in Parliament, with the government, he has 100%, of anything that he requires to do everything that he wants. Will William Samoei Ruto use this against some people in the country, or will William Samoei Ruto unite the country and use his influence, which is overwhelming, to develop this country, Kenya? Thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to Talk to Africa. My name is George.